Hey everyone, this is Jack from JAG Camper at JAG Camper HQ, and I'm very excited to demonstrate to you today the latest and all-new 2026 JAG Teardrop Camper. So let's go through it. So the first of all is the amazing look. It's got this beautiful aerodynamic shape, which means it's a breeze to tow with, and being only 860 kilos, it's super light, being able to be towed by most cars on the road. You can change the color of the panel to either white or gray, and you can decide whatever color combination you want with the wrap below, which is really cool. So let's check out the inside first. So we've got this great door. It's heaps of space to get in and out. So I'm just going to jump in. I've got a really nicely sized queen bed. So I'm 6'1", and I've got plenty of space. So the great thing is it's made of an insulated panel construction. So this panel means in the hottest of summers, no heat gets in, and in the coldest of winters, I just close up all the windows and my body heats enough to keep the place really warm. So, but if it was a really hot day, like it is quite often gets in Queensland where we make these campers, you open up the windows, you got a blind for privacy, but also you got a mozzie net as well to keep bugs out. And so if I do that between both the side windows, I get a beautiful breeze over my face, but I've also got this really epic sunroof, which, you know, it's just beautiful to go to sleep with watching the stars. And makes the space feel really open. The side doors as well have a inbuilt security door. So I'm just going to open this up here. So it's a really tough metal mesh screen. So it means I can sleep very securely at night with a lot of peace of mind, because I can close that up at night, still get a really nice breeze between both my doors with that massive opening, but now I can sleep really securely. And there's also a blind in here, which I'll just close up, which means I've got that privacy. So I can leave it a bit open at the top and the bottom, so I still get a bit of a breeze, but I've got that privacy. Another great thing about this teardrop camper, which most don't have if you want to come back in here, is this cabin actually has a footwell. So I can actually sit up here and I'm not encased with cabinetry all the time. I've got a lot of space. And look at how much space you have in terms of storage. So there's a massive cupboard on either side. So that's like, for example, a couple of towels, and look at how much space they take up, hardly any. The shelves can also be adjusted to be in a one shelf position as well, if you really wanted to. And then you've got some massive drawers. So 6 very large drawers and a shelf here. So we also have the option to put air conditioning and heating in these campers. So if you did that, our aircon would sit within this area here. So not on the outside, which can be a little bit ugly and bulky. You've also got this storage area up here, and a really cool feature that everyone seems to love is the rotating television. So if the weather's a bit average, instead of sitting outside, I can sit in here, watch a movie, because it's a smart TV, so I can watch Netflix, or I attach it to local television and watch the latest footy game. All the lights in here are completely dimmable, so I've got a switch here for this big, beautiful LED cob light. It's a nice, warm, bright light. But if it's too bright, I just dim it down by holding down this button. And I can also dim it up. On the video, it will display as a flashing kind of effect when I dim it down, but in real life, you don't see that. I've got 2 high-powered Sirocco fans as well, with 3 power settings. So these put out a very high amount of airflow. Will keep you always cool. So there's one on each side of the camper. So if you're camping with your partner, each one of you gets one. They're very good. And the newest ones even have USB chargers, so you can actually charge your phone and phones and devices from them as well. Up here we've got an adjustable reading light on both sides. This also has USB charging in it and it's dimmable, so I can put a mobile phone device here and charge it up at the light. And we have a lot of customers that have sleep apnea, so we decided to make it a standard feature in that we've got a 12-volt output here, so people can bring their sleep apnea devices with them when they're camping. Cool, I think that's most things in here. There's also, I'll just show you, more USB A and C charging ports here, and a 240 volt output. So if you're connected to mains power, you can bring your at-home appliances with you. Now, there's a little hidden feature underneath this bed, which is quite cool. So, rather than putting a lot of, I'll show you this quickly. This is a new feature. It's our mudguard table. So every camper gets one of those. You just put it on the side. Something we've learnt through this process of designing these compact campers is you want to make as much space usable as possible. So this can be used as a little side shelf or to be changing in the middle of the night into your new clothes. So that's quite handy. All right, now I'm going to show you quite a unique feature to the JAG campers, which is our underbed storage. So you just simply lift the bed up. It's on gas struts, so it's super easy. And you've got 650 litres of underbed storage. Now, perfect for your tables, your chairs, tarps, all of your larger camping items. We've even got a spare wheel down there as well. And that's a full commercial tyre, so it's not like something you need to go a bit slower on. If you had to swap your wheel out, you can go full speed on that. This also gives you an ability to see what our camper is made of. We strongly believe that your camper is only as good as the bones it's made of. So we've really over-engineered our chassis. It's 100 by 50 by 3 mil hot dip galvanized steel, so it can't rust. And it's so over the top strong for what we've built here, but we think if you start with good bones, you're gonna have a camper that lasts. We then additionally cover the whole camper head to toe, and I'll just show you on the bottom. The whole thing's covered in 3 mil check plate aluminium, which just seals in the bottom of your camper and means if you're doing a bit of semi off-road touring, nothing can really damage the bottom of your camper. And while we're under there as well, I'll just show you our CRS suspension. So this is a new feature of the 2026 Teardrop Campers. These are an Australian-made off-road suspension by Cruisemaster, and they're amazing. Cool, so I'll hand the camera back over. We also give you with every camper a fold-away TV antenna, so that unpacks and sits on the side of your camper to give you live television, and a 15 amp adapter cable so you can charge your camper at home or at a powered campsite. So let's make our way to the front of the rear of the camper now, the kitchen. So the cool thing is it's all hidden behind this sleek hatch. So I'll just open it up, let the gas struts do the work, and here we go. So something unique to JAG Camper is we use real plywood. It's a marine grade UV cured plywood, so it's extra durable. But the reason we use this over composite materials is because it just feels real. It feels every camper is new and different and unique, and real timber has a really nice warm feeling to it. So that's why we've done that. We wanted this kitchen to be a very usable space. So the bench top, as you can see, is absolutely massive, 1,500 meters, 1,500 mil long. So perfect for storage of all of your items when you're camping during the day, but also doing a lot of food prep. We've purposely, if you want to come over here, put all of our cooking facilities on a slide. So it means you can cook and not take up space on your food prep area. So you've got a 2-burner gas hob. We can swap that out into induction if you don't like the gas, but we think the gas is very efficient and will last you a very long time. This camper comes with a 4 kilo swap and go gas bottle, which will last you a very long time. We've also got our sink here, which connects to our 85 litre water tank. And you get a high flow of water straight from your sink, but also you've got a shower on the side of the camper, which we'll show you later. We've got the Dometic 60-litre NRX fridge. Now, Dometic are a great brand. They make a very power efficient quality product, but this is quite cool in that it's actually got a freezer compartment in there as well. And if you don't want to freeze, say like you just mainly are using refrigerator space, you can actually take it out and you get more fridge space for yourself, which is really cool. Looking back at that pantry space, there's a little light under here so you can see everything you store. This might be a good spot to put all your pots and pans. As well as that, we've got a wind protector. So say if you're camping and you don't have one of our JAG air pavilions up, which I'll show you later, and there's a bit of wind, that works perfectly for allowing efficient gas cooking. It just hides under a little hidden storage shelf. Cool, so I'll close that up. Plenty of storage, so 3 really deep drawers. The top one is actually got a cutlery shelf in there as well, which can be removed so you can put more stuff underneath the cutlery holder. Everything's on soft close mechanisms, so when you're driving, nothing can open and slam. And it also means we don't have to use push buttons on everything, which can be a little bit cumbersome. 2 big cupboards on both sides, and a little spice cupboard here. I'll just put that. Now, one of the most amazing new features on all JAG campers going forward is the integration of the Garmin Smart RV system. Now, this is an electronic management hub that was initially designed for the super yacht industry. We're one of the first companies in the world to be utilizing this system in caravans, which is super exciting. It's taken probably 6 months of work to get it implemented, but we're so happy with it. What it does is basically harmonizes every single electronic device and sensor all into one place. So rather than having all these heaps of switches and monitoring devices all over the camper, it's just in one beautiful place, and a phone app as well. So this is the home screen that you get in the kitchen. From here, you're going to get all of your kitchen controls. So that's turning on the LED strip light. So we go to white, orange. I can dim it down or up, same as the down lights. I've got a little battery monitor readout. So I've got 54% battery and I'm using 2.2 amps now with the lights on. So that's really critical for knowing how long you're going to last in off-grid environments. Say if I was to put my solar panel on or plug it into 240 volt power, then I'll be able to see exactly how much charge I'm putting in. So yeah, it just calculates it based off of that. I've got a water tank readout, so I've got 58 litres left of 69% capacity. And from here I can turn on and off my water pump, my fridge, and my external power. Now, a really cool feature that this camper has is travel mode and camp mode. So what is that? Well, when you're traveling, you don't want anything on except your fridge. So when you got it when you're towing behind your car, now one of the coolest features we've added here is travel mode and camp mode. So rather than having to turn off all of the switches in your camper before traveling, because when you're traveling, you only want your fridge on to keep your food cold, but you want everything off so that you can charge up the camper as fast as possible from your tow vehicle. So you hit travel mode and it turns every single electronic device off except for your fridge. Camp mode, on the other hand, I can actually set so that when I rock up to camp, what are the electronics I utilize most? Rather than having to go around and turn on every single switch that I usually put on, I can instead say, I usually want the interior lights on, but I want, for example, the exterior lights off. For this demonstration, I've got all of the lights on, so you'll see, if I open that up, if I hit camp mode, all of my lights are just going to turn on. So camp mode, travel mode on to turn everything off, and then camp mode on, and I'll turn everything on, which is really cool. Now let's check out the monitoring screen. So this is where I can understand and monitor every single aspect of the JAG camper. So the most important, I think, is the battery. So it gives me, again, a percentage, a a readout, 1.8 amps. If I turn on all of my lights and every single electronic to max it out, you'll see they'll jump up to 8.1 amps. So it does update live, which is really cool. So if I put that onto travel mode, you'll see it'll come right down to 0.6 amps. So again, if I had that plugged into a charger, a solar panel, or at the wall, that would shoot up to 40 amps. It gives me a readout of how long I have to go. So that's currently calculating based on my 0.5 amp usage, and it's saying I have 15 hours left. Now in reality, it's going to climb up higher, as you can see, because it's just recalculating itself. But that's really important to know, how much longer do I have to go when I'm in an off-grid environment until my battery is empty. Water tank, pretty self-explanatory. It works off a resistance system, so it's live. It's a live feed, so it's always going to be accurate. There's also a gas tank monitor. Now this is an optional extra for the JAG Camper. What we can do is we swap out we change your swap and go gas tank to a permanent gas tank that you have to fill up, and we put an ultrasonic sensor on the bottom of the gas tank, and therefore you can get a percentage readout of your gas tank. An exhaust fan, so that is a live temperature readout of what underneath behind that fridge is within the cabinetry, because some of these electronics and the fridge can increase the heat within the cabinetry. Now what we've got connected to that exhaust fan is a setting here. So say I can change that down to say if the temperature gets to 22 degrees, for example, and at the moment the current temperature is 23 degrees in there, that fan has now turned itself on, and you can hear it extracting air out of the electronics area of that camper. So that's a really cool feature. It means that the fan only comes on when it's actually needed. So if I'm in a really hot climate, I'm going to put that up to maybe 33 degrees in Queensland. But if I'm in a cold environment like Tasmania, I might set that down to 25, so it comes on when it gets hotter than ambient temperature. Let's go to the lighting section. So this is a really awesome feature. I can control all of the lights from this screen here. So I'll just changing it to orange and white, and you can see those interior lights turning on and off. I can also dim the lights. So a lot of campers that have dimmers, the dimmers don't have memory. So every single time you set the dimming setting, it forgets it, basically, the next time you go to turn that light on. Not with the Garmin system, it actually remembers it. So say if I know my interior lights, I like to have them at half brightness because that's all I need. Full brightness might be too much for me. I set it at that, and then my camper will always remember that. Another option we can do is physical leveling. So is my caravan on flat ground? So not so much important for standard caravan parks where you get a flat site, but if you're doing a lot of off-grid touring and stuff, finding a flat ground can be a little bit hard. So what you can do is, because this comes as an iPhone app, or an Android app, you have your phone in your cradle within your tow vehicle, in your car. You're looking at your phone while you're driving slowly around at your campground, finding that flat ground. And as soon as it goes level on your phone, then you know you've hit flat ground. Equally as well, I can have my phone in my hand, walk to the front of the camper, adjust the jockey wheel or push it along leveling jocks until it says I'm at flat ground. So right now we're on a bit of an angle, we're on a bit of a sloped driveway, hence it's saying we're not flat, we're at 2 degrees off on both sides. So that's the Garmin system, really amazing system. All of this again is available as an iPhone and Android app, so you can control and monitor your camper remotely from your phone, which is a very cool feature. In our quest to make the most functional teardrop camper kitchen on the market, we've thought a lot about the lighting. So first of all, you've got 2 overhead lights here that are dimmable, and they give a nice warm glow at night, so they're not too bright on the eyes. But if you need a little bit more light, you simply turn on this overhead kitchen strip light. So it can go into white mode, and you can dim it down and up, or you can change it to orange mode. So white gives you a little bit more light to work with, But if it's too bright, or if it actually is attracting bugs, which white light does, you change to orange, and now the bugs will just kind of fly away, and it will still give you a nice warm light that's easy on the eyes at night. In terms of power, we've also got a 240 volt output here. Now, this only comes on when you're connected to live 240 volt power at a caravan park or at home. So, but you can use this to use coffee machines, microwaves, home appliances. There's also another USB A and C plug here for charging up your devices such as your phones or cameras. Now that we've seen the kitchen, let's go to the side of the camper, which has all of our water outlets and electrical inputs and outputs. So first of all, every JAG camper comes with a shower outlet, and the output is here. So our high pressure water pump provides a high flow of water, which is great for washing off any sand after the beach, or having a late night shower. We can also put a hot water service on the camper for you, which will provide hot water to the shower as well. Perfect for washing up the dishes and having a hot water shower at night. We've also got our electrical inputs here. So at the top is your solar input. So it's just a standard Anderson lead, but behind there, we've got it hooked up to a 40 amp DC to DC charger, as well as a solar MPPT controller. And what that means is you can bring your own solar panel, or you can purchase one of ours, it's up to you. But due to JAG Camper's inbuilt solar technology, it means that whatever panel you plug in is going to be harvested extremely efficiently. So say this is one of our panels that we can sell you, but as I said, you're more than welcome to bring your own. Now, we prefer solar blankets purely because when you're camping, you're usually in the shade, you've got a tent up, you've got a tree there, you can't control where the most efficient place to put a panel is. And if you've got a permanent solar panel on the roof, you usually are not going to be in the most optimal position to harvest solar energy. And as well as that, it creates a lot of heat. They're a heat sink. So we've gone to a lot of effort to temperature insulate our cabin, so we prefer to not put a permanent panel on the top. So we prefer to use these. They're incredibly quick to set up. They got little legs on the side, so if I set it up this way, you'll see there's legs. So if I put that out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on a day like today, you're going to be charging your battery up easily over the course of a day. And you can, even with a little bit of sunlight over the course of a day, you can basically travel for as long as you like, as long as you've got a bit of sun. Another great thing about these systems is I'll just show you how quick and easy they are to pack up. And they store away under the bed really easily. But it's the 10-meter lead. So I can run all the way out to here. If there was shadow all around my camping setup and the only bit of sun was here, well, now I can access it. Whereas most solar setups, especially permanent rooftop solar setups, you cannot do that. So they work very well, these systems. I'll now show you our 240 volt input. So that's where our 240 volt input is, just under here. So if you're at a powered campsite, you just plug it in here and have live 240 volt to those 240 volt outputs that I showed you throughout the camper, but you'll also be charging up the camper at 40 amps per hour. So say as standard, if you had a 100 amp hour battery, you're pretty much going to be fully charged in a couple hours. There's also a safety RCD switch here that will trigger, which will turn off all the electronics in the case of a ground short. Here is our external 12 volt power outlet. So say if you wanted to bring extra fridges or freezers, or even if you wanted to pump up the JAG Air Pavilion, you plug in your pump here, turn on the switch. So we've got them switched inside so that no one can steal your power. And then that's going to give live power there. And there's one on both sides of the camper. Here is your water input. So that's your lead to fill up the 85 litre water tank. We've actually got it keyed. So which is really cool. It gives you a peace of mind that no one's going to be tampering with your water, because theoretically, if you had it unlocked, anyone who could come along and put dirty, gross water and basically, yeah, ruin your water supply, which you don't want to have on your mind. So that's the side of the camper. We'll go to the other side quickly, because this is another unique feature from JAG Camper. Now this is just an exhaust fan, but the way it works is pretty interesting in that it works off a temperature sensor, so it only turns on when your camper actually needs it. So what there is a temperature sensor within the cabinetry of the camper. Over the course of the day, when all of our electronics and the fridge heats up inside that area, it can make the fridge run a little bit less efficiently. So what we do is, say for example, we set that to 33 degrees. When it hits 33 degrees, it will turn the fan on, suck the hot air out, drop it down to temperature, and then turn itself off, which means it runs incredibly power efficiently, doesn't drain power when you don't need it, and it also doesn't make an annoying whirring sound when you're trying to sleep. Now let's come to the front of the camper. Here's another little feature that we do. So we give you door latch extenders, and the reason we do that is typically, if we just gave you regular standard doors, you wouldn't be able to keep your door open when you're camping and the window at the same time. So we give you 2 of these extenders, 1 for each door, and you simply just screw it on. Now you can hook the door up, so on a bit of a windy day like today, you can keep your doors open. You can still be getting a nice breeze through that security door, but you can also have this window open, which is really cool. We'll come around to the front. So we've just come back from a show, so we've had to remove our gas bottle, but usually that's where your 4 kilo swap and go gas bottle is. So the great thing about a swap and go system is that pretty much every service station in Australia has gas bottles ready to go. So if you are low at any point, you can swap it out. With our new Garmin system, we can even make it, it's an option that we can put a gas tank sensor on for you. So within your app, you can see exactly how much gas you have left. We also are pretty unique in that we utilize the elect brake system. So most of the time when you buy a new caravan, you're going to have to get your car modified with what's called an electric brake controller. Now this can cost thousands of dollars, and it means you can only ever tow that camper with that car. This device puts the electric brake controller on the camper. It means you don't have to spend the money modifying your car, and you can tow it with any vehicle you like. As well as this, as standard, every JAG camper comes with a locking hitch. So there's a key lock here, you lock that down, and no one can put that on their vehicle, but also if you lock it and it's on your vehicle already, you can't actually take it off your car. So it's really important if you're traveling to a campsite and you want to go to, say, a cafe or Woolworths along the way, no one's going to be able to take it off your car while it's in the car park. And the other thing I want to show at the front of this camper is the Anderson plug. Now, what that basically means is you can charge your camper from your tow vehicle while you drive. So on your way to your destination, you can always ensure that you have a full battery. It also can get you out of a pinch if you were running low on battery and you didn't have any solar to charge your battery up with. We utilize a massive 6 B&S cable. So pretty much there's absolutely 0 voltage drop from between here and the battery in the back of the camper. So it means you're not going to miss out on any charge from your towing vehicle. Now let's go into the factory where all the magic happens. So first we've got to cross the dog-proof fence, as we've got our supervisors in today. The factory, the campers don't look as pretty while they're being made, but this is truly where they are made in Brisbane in our factory. So feel free to come and check us out in person to see how the magic happens. We're always open and keen to show how we manufacture these campers. So looking into the electronics section, this is where the kitchen usually would be. So this is behind all the kitchen cabinetry. We've got the most advanced electronics setup of any teardrop in Australia, probably the world. We've got a 40 amp hour AC to DC charger that converts your 240 volt plug current to DC current that the battery can be charged with. We've got a DC to DC charger here with a built-in solar MPPT controller, which that's what's going to harvest energy from your solar panel, as well as harvest energy from your tow vehicle when you're driving with the Anderson plug I explained before. This is a premium sea flow pump. They're some of the best pumps you can get for water, so they work amazingly well. And then this is, I guess, all of the magic powering the Garmin system. So we've got a Garmin Connect 50, a Victron Servo GX, a Victron Smart Shunt, which gives you incredibly accurate battery readouts. And what's something we're really proud of is we use ProVolt batteries. They're one of the only manufacturers of batteries in Australia. So they offer an 8-year warranty. We're incredibly proud to represent this company. They make amazing batteries, all handmade in Caboolture. This camper is also decked out with an air conditioner. So you can see the air conditioning vents passing through where they will vent out to the side using custom 3D printed part components we make in-house from our 3D printer. And this camper's also got another optional extra called the caravan mover, which I'll show you at the side, and we'll have to upload a video of that shortly. But essentially, it's electric wheels that go on the back of your normal wheels that are controllable via remote control, meaning you can move your camper into position at your campsite. There's the supervisors here, from a remote control. So I'll upload a video on that soon because it's really amazing. And I'll just show you where that aircon would live. So rather than putting an aircon on the outside of your camper, which looks a bit ugly and it's not very aerodynamic, we use a Cybertech S2 aircon, which just sits within here, within the cabinetry. So it's an aircon, but you can also get it as a heater as well. So they work incredibly well. They just push air straight over your head, and they're not a big bulky unit on the outside of your camper. So thank you very much for coming with me for a tour of our factory and also our latest JAG Teardrop Camper. We're very proud to finally get it out there with all the amazing changes. And yeah, if you're ever in the area in Brisbane or you want to book in for a factory tour, please give us a call, 0427 199 800 or hello@jagcamper.com.au. Thank you.